What's up, everybody? It's the Nomad Brad, and I'm here with my business partner, Connor Boyland. And today, in this video, we are going to talk about how to go from 0 to 1 to 3,000 a month with email consistently and predictably. I'm really excited. Connor's really excited. He's going to share some really cool stories with you, and let's jump right into it.
Yeah, so Brad and I actually became friends a long time ago while working for a multi-million-dollar marketing company. They are still today one of the top offers on ClickBank in the personal development space. So we got to see behind the scenes of some really high-level marketing right when we were brand new, and that's how we kind of learned and became friends. You guys know Brad is the Nomad Brad, digital nomad, paid traffic expert. And I went a little bit different path and learned a lot of sales and copywriting, and specifically email copywriting. Before I did this for my own lists, I worked for 3 separate multi-million-dollar marketing companies, and I ran their email list and sent their emails every day. So I've sent literally millions of emails and helped a lot of people make a lot of money, and I've seen exactly what works and what doesn't work. And actually wanted to tell you a little bit of my story just so you know exactly where I'm coming from. Like I said, I've managed email lists for 3 different pretty big companies. As I was learning to do that, I spent a lot of my time and money just learning everything I could about sales and copywriting and email marketing, because I just wanted to be the best. I wanted to make a lot of money doing it. I thought, people always told me conversion is king, copywriting is the best thing you could ever do. It's really important for your business. And it is, although I'd argue it's not the most important thing. But I just was so focused on being good at copywriting and sales because I wanted to make a lot of money, and I thought that was the best thing you could possibly do. And even to the point where one of my mentors, the guy that hired me and taught me a lot of copywriting and sales, pulled me aside one day over lunch and gave me what I hoped would have been like the best compliment ever. He said, "Connor, I got to tell you, like at this point, you've surpassed me. You've gotten better at copywriting than me. I'm really proud to see how far you've come." And I wish I could say that was really, really awesome. But the truth is, I was not making a lot of money. And it was kind of a sucky moment for me to realize, even though everyone said, "Oh, you're such a great copywriter," I was still just a contractor working for someone else. It was just a job. And the truth is, even though all my friends thought, "Hey, you look like you've got it made, you're working, doing sales stuff for these big companies," I was actually getting paid very little compared to what these guys were making. And I was just a broke copywriter. It was, I guess what I see now is a classic beginner mistake to think that if you just hustle hard and work hard every day that the money's going to come. And I was doing that, but the money was just never enough. I didn't know what else to do. I didn't know any better at the time, that I was working on the wrong things. And I thought if I just keep hustling and working hard every day, that mastering the craft of copywriting, like everyone says, is so important, that sooner or later the money would come. And it was kind of a struggle to realize that even after 2 years of doing that, I was still making the exact same amount that I was when I started. Even though I had leveled up so much in skill, it had nothing to do with how much money I was actually earning. And it was really disappointing. I remember going to sleep every night, like having a hard time falling asleep just because I was so nervous about the future. I really didn't know when my next rent check was going to come, like if I would be able to pay it. There was even a month like last year where I didn't have enough money in my bank account at the beginning of the month, in between paying bills and then getting paid by my clients. And in that gap in between, a rent check bounced, and I had to go and beg them to not evict me from my apartment. Which is a very humbling experience for someone who thought, I'm a professional, I have my shit together, to be like a day away from getting evicted. And I had to spend the next 6 months going to the grocery store to get a cashier's check from the bank they have there to hand over to the leasing department to prove that I was good for it, because they didn't trust me to pay rent. Mom's calling me every day, begging me to get a safe job. Like if you've ever gone out on your own to be an entrepreneur, you might know what it's like to have just nobody understand what you're trying to do. you see the potential in being a good marketer and having this kind of business or these talents or skills, but other people that don't go that path just think you're weird and they wonder what the hell you're doing. Why did you quit your safe job to try and do this? You're clearly struggling. You could tell they feel sorry for you. And it's good that I have friends like Brad and that we support each other through those kind of times, because we both do the same things and we get it. But anyways, my point is, eventually something had to break. And my top client, they got this new marketing manager. She called me up one day, and I thought it was just to introduce herself and say, hey, I'm new here, like, great to meet you. And we got on the phone, and she was so nice. She was like, hey, I heard you're such a great copywriter. It's so good to meet you. I've been told you're one of the best in the industry. It's really great to work with you. And I was like, oh, yeah, thanks. It's nice to work with you, too. And then she started saying things like, we've had to make some hard decisions. We're going like a new direction in the company, as you might know, and we're going to be shutting down some of these lists and focusing on other areas and building new email lists. And I was like, okay. And I think she just didn't know how to tell me. And eventually I had to be like, hey, are you guys firing me? And she was like, well, I wouldn't call it firing. We don't want to burn any bridges. And, if you're available like 6 months from now, we'd love to talk about maybe working together. And it's just, she didn't have the heart to say, like, we got to let you go. Mm-hmm. Not because I did anything wrong. Mm-hmm. Just what I was doing for them just really wasn't that valuable. I was a pretty expendable contractor. And that made me mad. That made me kind of sit down and think to myself, all right, should I go get more clients? Should I keep focusing on this skill of copywriting and maybe try to work for someone else, get some more people to hire me? I just remember feeling so angry that I spent so much time and effort to be so good at this, and everyone recognized that I was so good at this, and it had zero impact on how much money I made or how valuable I actually was. I was still very expendable. I don't know if you guys watching this have ever, worked for someone else that you knew for a fact that you were smarter than them or more talented than them, and it had no impact on the fact that they made more money than you. My old boss, the guy I worked for, literally told me I was a better copywriter, and it didn't matter. He's rich. I think the same week that they fired me, I got a Snapchat from the guy who ran the company that had been so nice to me, from like the beach in Costa Rica. As I'm slaving away in my apartment, trying to write copy, trying to hustle and make it and somehow make something out of myself. And they're just drinking margaritas on the fucking beach. Millionaires, like easily making tons of money while they sleep, not doing a damn thing that I'm doing. And that was a real, make or break moment for me to say, all right, I can either keep going this path and working for other people and trying to leverage my skill as a copywriter, or I can figure out what the hell they're doing that I'm not. Because they're partying on the beach on the middle of a Wednesday and loving their life and making stupid amounts of money. And I'm making nothing while I'm doing all this work. What the hell am I doing wrong that I need to change? Like, what do they have that I don't? And hopefully as you're watching this, you might come to realize what it is. It's kind of the theme of this whole video that we're shooting for you here. And really what I had to ask myself is, what's the one difference between me and these guys? It's not how hard you work. It's not hustle, okay? We all hustle. It's not how old they are. My last boss was younger than me. And it's definitely not marketing experience. Brad and I have both seen beginners make a lot of money in just their first month, and we're going to tell you how in just a little bit. Brad will fully admit he's not the best copywriter, but at this time he was doing better than me. What do all these people have that I didn't? Well, it was pretty simple. The one thing that separated my broke copywriting ass from these millionaires who were running these lists and making all this money was that they had an email list, and I didn't. I was running their email list. I was writing all of the emails, but I didn't own that list. I was writing emails for people that had email lists of 100,000 subscribers. And they were raking in the money from that for very little effort. And they hire people like me to run it for them because they were making so much that they didn't even have to write their own emails. They'd hire a professional to do it for them for very little. And I don't know if you guys have ever had that experience of working for someone else and watching them get richer and richer while you keep struggling doing all of this work. And it was just such a fundamental moment of change for me to realize, fuck this, They're all making this money with marginal talent because they own an email list and they're growing their email list, and I'm just the guy running it. So I decided, fuck this. I'm not going to go get another job or another client. I'm going to take what little money I have left, pay my bills, and I'm going to start my own email list. Now, you shouldn't just take our word for it on this. If you've heard of Russell Brunson or Jeff Walker, just legendary, big deal internet marketers, I'm sure you've heard of these names. And these guys and a lot more have always said, for like the last decade at least, that the average internet marketer with an email list should earn between $1 to $3 a month for every subscriber on his or her list. And we're going to show you how that works now and how it worked for me. And this is why you may have heard people say the money's in the list. It's not really in how good you are at selling or copywriting. It's not really how many affiliate offers you have or like how great your offers are. I mean, that all matters. But the number one thing that we always focus on, and that you should too, is having your email list and consistently growing it. And if you're doing it the right way, which we're going to show you, you should easily be earning this kind of monthly income just from having an email list. And it's as simple as growing a list and taking 10 minutes a day to send them a message. It's not hard when you do it the way that we show you. But this is why you may have heard the money is in the list. This is the kind of money that you can easily be earning. And the best part is, look how scalable the income is. For the exact same amount of work, I said, it's not about hustling and grinding. Well, it's what sucks is to hustle and grind for the same amount of money every day, every week, every month. That gets kind of depressing. That's just having a job, and that's not why we're in this. We're in this to grow a business and make more and more and more from our effort. Well, when you have an email list, your income grows and scales in proportion to the size of your list. So,
not to your effort.
Not to your effort. It doesn't matter if you work really hard or just for 10 minutes a day minimum to write an email. But the bigger your list gets, the more impact that one email has. And we're going to show you how that works. This is my first month after starting my own list. And you can notice this is actually pretty recent. We're shooting this like first week of November in 2018. This is all the data from October of 2018. I just did this. So on the left, you can see the weekly money that I'm pulling in from ClickBank. In the middle there, that's one of my affiliate accounts. All right, I sell affiliate products as well as my own, which is great if you don't have your own product, because you can, with email, you can sell other affiliate products that you have nothing to do with for a pretty good commission and bring in a lot of money. And on the left here, on the far left, the $2,500 for October, that's actually the company that fired me. Just for sending out a few emails. I sell their products now as their affiliate, not as their client, as their affiliate, and I make at least twice what they used to pay me. But just real quick to show you guys what we're talking about and what's possible in just 1 month. Last month, having my own email list from the exact same amount of work I used to put in to my own list, I made $8,800 in revenue in 1 month. I currently have about 3,300 subscribers, and that works out to $261 per subscriber, which, as you can see, fits right in nicely with the Jeff Walker, Russell Brunson rule of thumb of how much money you can be earning from your email list. And I want to stress, it's really not because I'm a great copywriter. Anyone with just a marginal amount of writing or copywriting skill can just write a simple email. We'll tell you about the emails in just a second. But this is just the average rule of thumb. Even for average marketers can be earning like the lower end of that scale, just for having an email list of 3,000 people or even 1,000. If you send out a daily email or even every couple of days and you sell a certain offer to the right people in the right way, you can easily be earning at least $1,000 a month. And that's for 10 minutes of your time every day. And as that list grows, just look at how your income grows. I just wanted to show you my stats, not to not to impress you, not to brag or impress you, but just impress upon you guys that this rule of thumb that you may have heard of. It's absolutely true. We can verify that this is how email marketing works. This is current to 2019. We're speaking to you now from the very end of 2018. And that's how powerful having your own email list really is. Also, I just wanted to share this. It personally makes me feel very vindicated. This is the girl that fired me. Nothing wrong with her. I don't want to attack her in any way. She's a very sweet girl. And they just had to fire me for business reasons because they're going in a new direction. They didn't need my services anymore. But in the past month, I started selling that company's products as their affiliate. And now they're emailing me and lumping me in with their top affiliates and actually offering to bump my commissions even higher. So going from working for someone else, doing the same exact thing. In fact, I sell their products now using the same emails I used to write for them. I just plug in the same emails I used to write. But now to my own list, look how much more money I'm making. Look at the opportunities opening up for me just because I decided to own the list and grow it myself. So I hope that you guys are getting excited to build your list if you're not already. I know some people watching this already have a list, but we're going to help you grow it a lot faster and more targeted. I know some of you maybe don't have a list yet. You're wondering how to even get started. So we just wanted to tackle some of the biggest questions that we get from people who want to build a list, that want to be earning this kind of money every month. This either, if you want to grow a huge business and do this full time, or if you just want a little bit of side income to supplement what you're already doing. This is just such a great way to leverage your time and scale your income without depending on how hard you're working. So first of all, do you need a big list? Well, no. With just 1,000 people, you could be earning at least $1,000 a month. That's not hard to get. We're going to show you in the next video how to get that with free traffic. You don't need a big list. In fact, my list is currently much, much smaller than anyone else in my industry, and I'm already beating out some of the top affiliates in certain contests just because I know how to email them better, and I send better emails. We'll share more about that in a bit. Brad does not have a big list. You just did the best month you've ever had, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I fell right into that. Mine was, so I'm not, like Connor said, not super great copywriter, but I was able to do about $1.80 per person on my list, and I have a really small list.
Right on. So that's right in there in the $1 to $3 a month per subscriber, and we've seen a lot of beginners do the same thing in their first month. A lot of people that think you need to be really good at copywriting. You definitely don't. And I'm saying that as a good copywriter who studied this for years. Most of what I do now is super simple. Once you study something for a long time, you realize that there's really only a handful of ththings that actually matter, and a lot of stuff that's really a waste of time. And we could tell you what that stuff is and help you get focused. Yeah, you have to be okay at writing emails. You have to write things that make sense and speak to the desire of your prospect or your customer, but it's really easy to do that. They say the best copywriters, they write at a 5th grade reading level.
I was just going to say, you definitely don't have to be a good writer.
Yes.
Copywriting
is not writing.
Creative writing.
Exactly. It doesn't take a lot of creativity.
English class. Yeah.
It's just a very direct way of speaking to people and helping them solve their problems. I don't even like calling it copywriting anymore because it sounds like you've got to be an expert or that there's some magic to it. Good copywriting is just knowing what people's problems are and directly helping them solve it without teasing them too much or beating around the bush. They have problems. You can help them solve it. And the more you help them, the more they'll listen to you, the more they'll trust you. That's why email is so powerful, because it gives you a point of contact with them every single day if you want. And people like to be sold to through email. We'll show you that in a bit. But you don't have to be a great copywriter to make the kind of money that we're showing you here. You just have to be willing to help people and understand what they actually care about. Does it work in any niche? We get asked that a lot too, especially from the affiliate marketers. I've seen this work in everything from the MMO, like make money online, to weight loss, health, wellness, supplements. You showed me one about woodworking the other day. That's pretty cool. Like, I didn't know that was a niche that people make a lot of money in, but it's a passionate hobby. Pretty much any niche where there are offers being sold to passionate people that want them. and that people that check their email, which is probably more the most prolific, like most read communication channel out of all the ones that are out there, more than social media currently, more than video, more than a lot of things. People always are just in the routine habit of checking and reading their email. So anything that you can sell to anyone in any niche, you can do through email. It's the most popular by far. And in fact, you don't have to have your own product to sell. Most of, if you look at the income numbers I showed you from last month, at least half of that was from selling affiliate offers, which means if you're brand new, you don't have anything to sell, you don't even think you could sell anything. If you start an email list and find some affiliate products where you just sign up, anyone's allowed to sign up, and you can promote their products to your list. A lot of top affiliates will even give you the email swipes. Like I've created some of my own products in different niches, like dating, self-improvement. I have products that I've created in those niches. And if you wanted to promote my product as my affiliate, I would give you the emails and you just plug them in. You wouldn't even have to write your emails. And most top offers that want affiliates to promote them will give you email swipes so that you don't even have to write them. You don't need a product. You don't need the emails. They'll just give you all the material you need. You just grow a list and send it to them and make a commission. And then finally, our favorite question that we always get asked is email still relevant in 2019? So we've been hearing this through our whole career as internet marketers, all the way back to 2008. They've probably been saying it before that. People, especially on Facebook, people like to claim that they're experts about stuff or like start bragging and anywhere that people can sound off and get attention. And those people always say email is dead. Anytime you hear anyone say, such and such is dead, it's kind of a dead giveaway that they don't really know what they're talking about. It's such a blanket statement to say such and such money-making thing is dead, and they're usually, it's because they want to sell you something else.
Yeah.
Like Facebook Messenger bots are really hot right now. So the people selling that naturally want you to think email's dead because then you're going to need the Messenger bot or anything else. Email is alive and well. It's actually better than it's ever been. It's going to grow even larger in 2019. We've been hearing people say this every single year, and every single year, whether it's us personally or the guys that we work for, the money just keeps rolling in. It's super dependable, and we'll show you some data on that right now. For those of you wondering, is email still relevant in 2019? This data is from optinmonster.com, which is a WordPress plugin. They do opt-ins to grow email lists, and they also do a lot of data and analysis on the state of email marketing. So I just pulled this from a report they recently put out at the end of 2018. So this is very current. Total number of people using email compared to Facebook and Twitter. 2.6 billion people using email in the world. That's insane. Even more interesting, it's the first online check of the day. Think about how your day goes in relation to technology. Usually, most of us wake up, roll over, pull out our phone, and check stuff, or when you get to work, what's the first thing you do, right? Most people, over 58% of people, the first thing they check is their email. And I actually started sending most of my emails in the morning for that reason, because I want it to be one of the first things that my subscribers look at every day. It's something we split test, like what time of day to send it. There's no real answer on that, but I tend to usually send it in the morning because people's routine is check email in the morning. 91% use email daily compared to 57% on Facebook. I actually surprised. I thought Facebook would be higher than that. It's such an addictive platform. It seems like everyone lives on Facebook, but most people use email at least once a day. 77%, this is probably my favorite, 77% of people prefer email for permission-based promotional messages. That means they would much rather you market to them on email than look at Facebook and Twitter. 4%. 1%. Nobody wants to be sold to on Facebook. Nobody. They all would much rather you sell them things on email. It's also the most frequently used thing for personal messages. I find that really enlightening, and I know we get asked a lot, how do you sell things without being salesy about it? Mm-hmm. How do you sell these offers and make this money without being pushy, without annoying people? Well, email is the best way to do that. It's what people are used to buying from. There's even more data that I'll dig up for you guys later that certain payment processors like Stripe have collected a lot of data on where people buy online products from, especially information products like the ones that we sell. And they found that people on Facebook or Twitter or any other social media, it was like 2 or 3%, and 15 to 20% were buying through email. So it was like an order of magnitude greater, like 5 to 10 times greater amount of people were buying through email than through the same things through Facebook or Twitter. And that's data from a payment collector like Stripe. So for everyone that's like, how do I make this money online? How do I sell without being salesy? Email is the best way to go, especially when you do it the way that we're going to teach you later. Look at this, 66% users made a purchase as the result of a marketing message. It's just the way to go for marketing. It's what people are used to seeing. They're used to buying it. 7% were customers acquired through email, less than 1% for Facebook. Inbox placement, organic reach, 79% compared to Facebook and Twitter. The open and click rates way higher. And another thing that a lot of people never really talk about, it's the bottom right here, is ownership. That means list ownership of your prospects and your customers. I don't know how many of you are experienced with Facebook marketing or Google or YouTube, which is owned by Google, or Instagram, which is owned by Facebook. But when you market on those channels, you're just renting the space from Facebook or Google. You don't own those people. I don't care if you have a million followers on Facebook. You don't own them. And at any point, if Facebook wants to shut you down, you're done. Especially Facebook. At least Google will like work with you and help you get compliant. But how many marketers do we know that got a little too aggressive? They weren't even sure why. They thought they were playing by the rules, but they weren't sure why. And they went from making a ton of money on Facebook to getting shut down and out of business in a day. I'm not saying that's going to happen to you. I'm not trying to scare you. Facebook's obviously a big deal, and we're on there too. But an email list is something that you own and have control over. And even if AWeber shut you down today, you still own all of the email addresses that you've collected, and you can easily go to ConvertKit, which we use right now, or GetResponse, or anyone else that does email, and just take your list and work with them instead. No one can take your email list away from you. And that's really important for those of you that want to really run a serious marketing business and really, depend on this kind of income. We don't like things that take away our control or our ability to own the things that we're creating. And Facebook and Twitter, you're never going to own that stuff. You're just renting it from them. So keep that in mind. We also get asked, what do you write in your emails? Well, there's not enough time today to teach you everything about writing emails, but just know that it's actually really simple. The best emails that we write are super simple. They're between 300 to 500 words. It usually takes about 10 to 20 minutes to write. The best marketing emails that you can do that people actually want to read and open, going back to the stats we just showed you that they're comfortable buying from, they're plain text, no pictures, no like crazy formatting like you might see from a corporation. Like you ever get an email from like Macy's or some Shopify store or some big corporate thing where they got pictures and graphics and all that. We don't send those emails. There's a lot of data to show that type of email actually doesn't get delivered nearly as much. It gets blocked by spam filters because it looks like a postcard you get in the mail trying to sell you something. That is very salesy. It's also very corporate. We write our emails as a one person to another person. Think of the emails that you would read in your own personal inbox. It just would say, hey, Brad, check this out. You're going to love this thing today that I have to share with you. That's how I write emails. It's just, hey, what up? Check this out. I want to share this with you. It's plain text. There's not any pictures or formatting. It's just plain text with 1 or 2 links that are pitching the offer that I'm trying to promote. So what do you write? It's always focused on the self-interest of the person I'm writing to. And it's going to help them solve a problem, or at least help them solve one small part of that problem, and then offer them something. The offer that we're promoting will be a how-to sort of info product that really solves their whole problem. Like the data that I just showed you from the month I did last month, that's in dating and self-improvement. So when I write emails to that list, I'm addressing one small particular problem that they have with dating, and then I'm pushing them to the offer, which solves all their problems with dating. So it's, hey man, you want to know what to do if like you meet a girl and you get her number and then she doesn't text you back? Well, here's why girls do that. Hey, by the way, I have a whole book on how to talk to women and get them attracted to you. Check it out right here. It's really as simple as that. Again, there's so many ways to write emails. There's no way we could cover it in one video. And in fact, we actually have a whole library of proven email templates, thousands of them, that we could share with you guys. If you're interested, comment below this video. Most of the emails that we write now are template based. And that's just coming from our years of experience writing for all these different lists, all these different, marketing companies that we said we work for. Once you do it that often, you start to notice the patterns. There's certain types of emails that you find yourself writing over and over again, and it boils down into a set of templates or checklists where when I sit down to write an email, I'm not always just coming up with something off the top of my head. I'm going into the library or into my mental library and just saying, all right, what are like the best emails that work? I've written this before. I've got a template here. Let me just fill out, okay, the headline's going to say this. The first few sentences will say this. Then I'll tell a story about this or teach something about that. Or maybe I'll do a written checklist of 7 things you got to know about this. Keep it real simple. And then down here, I'll pitch the offer and it'll be like this. And then I'll sign off. We have templates like that make the email process a lot easier. Just from all of our experience, you kind of learn what works and what doesn't. But my point here is that it's really not complicated. I've seen some email marketers that write insanely long emails. They're like thousands of words. They're like a sales letter in every email. I'm not saying that doesn't work. I'm sure that it's working fine for them if they're doing it, but we don't do it that way. We actually have other things to do with our day aside from writing copy all day long. And so when we write emails, they're super short and simple, and they just pitch something and move on. So how are you going to make, as a beginner, 1 to 3K a month from your email list? Well, here's what you don't need. You don't need expensive funnel software. It's okay if you do have that. It's just not mandatory. Brad's got ClickFunnels. I'm using OptimizePress, but you don't need that stuff just to run an email list and make this kind of money. If you're a total beginner, if you were starting from complete scratch right now, all you need, I'll show you what you need in a second, but you don't need expensive software. You don't need a professional copywriter. You don't need an offer of your own to sell. Like we said, you can sell an affiliate's offer straight away without having your own offer. You don't need a big social media presence at all. There are ways to use social media to grow your email list. That's what we're doing. But you don't need a big social media presence. You don't need the messenger bots. I know they're hot right now. Not hating on messenger bots. I'm sure they're very profitable. But you don't need that to make money with email the way we're doing it. You don't need paid traffic. We're going to do another video soon and tell you guys how to get free traffic to grow your email list. Paid traffic can make that happen a lot faster, but you don't need it. You don't need a massive email list to start. Remember, to make 1 to 3K a month, you only need 1,000 people, and that's very, very easy to get in just a month or less. And you don't need a network. You don't need to know a lot of people in the marketing world. You don't need to have a bunch of millionaires on speed dial who are going to help you out. You can know absolutely nobody, and it doesn't even matter if anyone knows who you are. All that matters is, do you have things that they want, and can you give it to them? Here are the 5 things you do need to do the strategy that we want to share with you. You need an opt-in page. That's how you grow your email list. You need an opt-in page that says, hey, give me your email address in exchange for this free thing that I want to share with you. It's called a squeeze page, an opt-in page. The thing that you're giving away is called an ethical bribe or a lead magnet. It's basically, if you've ever signed up for anyone's email list, it just says, put your email in here to download this free report on, what's yours right now? How to get 50 to 80% opt-ins, because we're building a list for email marketers like you guys. My dating list says how to know if a girl likes you or not, for sure. Learn this simple, innocent way to know if a girl likes you or not. Put your email in here. It's like very simple. The delivery is like 1 paragraph. Hey, here's the top 50 affiliate niches that make money this year. Check it out. Download the PDF. We could teach you later how to make an opt-in, but all you need is 1 page that collects emails. You need an autoresponder, which is the service that's going to be sending your emails on your behalf. So that's going to be MailChimp or Aweber. If you want to do it for free, MailChimp's free for is it free for the first 1,000?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're not friendly to affiliates.
They're not friendly to affiliate marketers. Okay.
They'll ban your account.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
We use ConvertKit for our autoresponder. They're just incredible at deliverability. That plain text email that I showed you, they're just perfect at that. They're perfect for what we want. They have everything we want and nothing we don't need. Get Response is one I've used. It's very powerful. Active Campaign.
Aweber.
Higher level gets more complicated, but it can do a lot of cool stuff. Aweber is probably the longest running, most popular. They are friendly to affiliates too.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of email autoresponders out there, but you need something. You're not going to be sending your emails from your own personal Gmail account.
Right.
You're going to set up an autoresponder that sends from your domain as an actual business. It's still you, the person, but I've seen, if you didn't know any better, a lot of people will send like a BCC list of emails through Gmail. Like, that's not what we're doing. We have an actual software that handles it. And that's so that you can make sure you land in a person's inbox and not the spam folder. That's to make sure that you're compliant with laws about spam. It's to make sure that, if you've heard of GDPR for people in Europe, that's to make sure you're compliant with that. It's to make sure that, when someone opens their email inbox, that you're right there at the top as a personal contact that they trust, and therefore they're going to open and buy from you. Anyways, you need an opt-in page, an autoresponder. These are all like done for you services. You need an offer, and that could be your own offer. I know some people watching this are doing coaching, so you might be offering your own services. Hey, get on the phone with me, schedule a call. You may be selling your own information product like we do. Hey, click here to check out my ebook, and we'll send to the sales page, and they'll watch a video or they'll buy something that we've created, a training material. Or if you don't want to do that at all, if you're doing affiliate stuff, you just sell an affiliate's offer, and that's already done for you. You're just sending to their landing page. 4, you need traffic. That could be free or it could be paid. You just need a way to get people to your opt-in page so they join your email list, and now you've got a way to contact them every day if you want. Brad's an expert at paid traffic. He could tell you all about that in future videos, but in the next video, we're going to tell you actually how to get free traffic to build your email list, get to that first 1,000 subscribers. So don't worry about traffic. It's super easy, and you don't have to spend a lot of money on it. And then 5, just 10 minutes a day to write a really simple email. We don't like complicated. We don't make things super detailed or complex. The best strategies are always the simplest. And, we like to respect people's time and not take too long when we write the emails. So I write my emails as I sit here with my morning coffee. I just bang out an email, I send it, and I go about my day. So, like I said, in the next video, we're going to tell you guys how do you get your first 1,000 subscribers. Hopefully if you watch this far, you're pretty excited to start building your email list. You see the power of it. You see how fast you can start earning this kind of income. You've seen how it scales. You've seen that it's absolutely relevant right now in 2018, 2019. It's not going away. It's not going anywhere. We'll probably be shooting this video 10 years from now, and people will still be saying email is dead, and it's still killing it. As long as people read emails, this is going to be a big deal. And just imagine if you start growing your list now, imagine where it'll be a month from now. Imagine where your list could be next year, how many people could be on it, and how much money you could be earning. But it really just depends on starting to build your list now. So we want to help you do that in the next video. I know a lot of you may not know how to do paid traffic, or you may be, I certainly, before Brad taught me, I was really intimidated by paid traffic. It seemed like something that you need a lot of money to do, or that you had to be an expert at. But it turns out there's a lot of free ways to get traffic to your opt-in page and grow your email list. And we want to help you get to that 1,000 subscriber mark where you can be earning, 1 to 3K a month in the first month.
And once you have your list and you're making that money, you can reinvest in paid traffic to scale up even faster.
That's kind of what I want to do now, is take what I just earned and then reinvest in some ads and see if I can grow it even faster. But don't worry about that for now. We just want to help you get to that first 1,000 subscribers and show you how fast and easy and how possible this is, even for a total beginner. And we'll tell you exactly what you got to say in those emails so that you can be making that kind of money. But we have a question for you. Assuming that you can build an email list with free traffic to 1,000 subscribers, and you could be making this kind of income, 1 to 3 grand a month, mostly passive, what would you do with that? What would that do for your life right now to have an extra 1 to 3K in the next month? We've got the holidays coming up. That could be a Christmas vacation or a present. That could be, for me personally, it was just personal validation and like hope, autonomy, control, to know that I'm in control of my own income going forward, and that I don't have to worry about other people who may or may not value my talents or skills, or that may not need me, or that, it's just more control over my own financial future. I don't know about you guys, but starting my own business and going and venturing out into internet marketing has put me a little in debt to the IRS over the past year. And they don't stop calling. When you owe them, they don't stop sending those letters. So having this extra money in 1 month from my email list for me was just incredible confidence and freedom to know that that's not going to be a problem anymore because I've got it under control. I know what to do. I know how to grow this. I don't have to wait on anyone else. I don't have to worry about anyone else. I can just do my thing and make the money that I want to make. And it's also validating to see that people like reading my emails and they actually do buy. All that stuff that I just showed you about how people read emails and they buy from them. Before I actually did it myself, I kind of thought, oh yeah, the money's in the list.
Yeah.
It's probably bullshit. It's easy for Russell Brunson and Jeff Walker to say that. They're rich as fuck. They're so famous and successful. Of course they have big lists. Of course they make a lot of money. Silly me, just what a limiting belief that was. This first month starting my own list, I just blew up, not changing anything else. But what do you guys want? What do you guys want to do with an extra 1 to 3K or more, or 3, 5, 10, 30,000? Look at how it scales to your list size. What would you do with that? Would you grow a marketing business? Would you pay off your kids' college tuition? Would you buy a new car? What would that do for you? And how excited are you to get started on this right now? Just comment below this video. And of course, if you have any questions at all on anything we just talked about or what you'd like us to address in the next video, put it below this video and we will answer everything you need to know in the next video.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Connor. I'm really excited. And yeah, leave your comments below and we're going to talk to you more about building your list.
Woohoo! Woo. Let's do it.